He's a centre-half. He's a number 4.
I'm always shouting, and if you would ask them like how many times I shout their names during the game, or they will get sick of me.
Watch him defend, and watch him score.
Listen, people forget that we have a very good free kicker in the team with Trent.
He's not bad, yeah. He's not bad.
He's very good. Obviously, you remember, I think, one. But
one or two, mate. One or two. He'll pass the ball. Come as you like.
Obviously, at Liverpool, you know, we play out, but we're not, like you said as well, we're not silly. We're not gonna play out for the sake of we have to play out. You know, when we're under pressure, we can also go direct.
He's Virgil Van Dijk. He's Virgil Van Dijk. Go on, then, let's see what you got. Go on. Yeah, that's horrible. How are you, mate?
Okay. You?
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Thank you for having me here today. Before we get started, right, I want to know, what is Virgil van Dijk's dream start to a football match? For a goalkeeper, it is coming for a cross, like first minute of the game. You know what I mean? Congested box, taking the ball above everybody. What is Virgil van Dijk's?
Win the first header.
Yeah.
Long ball from the goalie, and I'm just winning the first challenge there.
Big physical striker up against you.
I don't really need it to actually get going. I think just pass me the ball and we'll get going.
And that's all you need, yeah.
That's all I need, yeah.
All right, sweet. Well, I want to talk about some different style of strikers today, yeah? Because in my book, I think there's probably... Right, let's have a little pop as well. We're talking, by the way. I've got nothing, honestly. I've got absolutely nothing.
Oh!
No review. No review.
It looked alright, you know.
So in my book, right, I think there's two probably different type of forwards players, right? You've got your out and out strikers. Did you see that?
I didn't look.
Like the Harry Kanes, the Erling Haalands, yeah. And then you've got all these, like this new breed. You know what I mean? Of the little whippersnappers, the ones that love to carry the ball, get into those little pockets, cutting inside, running along the lines.
Yeah.
Let's start with them first, all right? The Cole Palmers, the Phil Fodens, the Bernardo Silvas. How do you deal with defending against players like that?
Obviously, it's never easy. It's about organising what's in front of you, of course. And I think if you are, if you are compact as a team, that makes it a lot easier. Because normally, if you are compact, it comes in spaces where a lot of other players are as well. But it's never easy, because if you're thinking about stepping in, then the space you leave behind could be dangerous. So, yeah, it's interesting because every game, like you said, is a different challenge. Like I would say, if you play against then City, Haaland is an unbelievable finisher. Is strong, is fast, is everything. So if he gets the service, it's a goal. But then against Arsenal, for example, you play against this season more or less than Havertz, who's dropping a lot more in, or Jesus, obviously, is the same. And it's also a difficult challenge as well. Well, you have to be ready for any challenge.
So what becomes really important then is communication then really important? Do you know what I mean? When you've got to almost sort of like pass it on to another defender.
You don't want to pass it on, but you have to be communicated, because obviously when he's coming to a different position and you have your six there that can cover when we come across, then obviously it makes it a lot easier. Yeah. So communication is definitely a big thing. But if you have to do the job yourself, you have to be ready to do that as well. Well, let's talk about the out-and-out strikers and your Harry Kanes, your Erling Haaland. Yeah. This might sound crazy, but do you find it almost easier to defend against those guys than the ones that are love to just sort of roam all around the place? I won't say easy is not the right word to say, is it?
It's different.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different.
But if the forwards are pressing the way we've always been pressing, then it makes life much easier for all of us, because the ball won't even reach our. Yeah. So when there will eventually be a moment that they will kick it long, you have to be ready to challenge. You have to be ready, or the ball in behind, you have to be ready to sprint. You have to read the situation. If the ball is free with, for example, against City with Kevin De Bruyne, if he plays that ball behind and you're not ready to sprint back, you're done. So you have to read and you have to think about what's
so
in
then
front of you.
Are you aware then that you know that you have to be like on it, like crazy on it, every split second? So it might not even be watching the ball. You're watching body language. You're watching his eyes at times as well.
Yeah, I think you watch the game. You watch the guy on the ball. You watch the body position of the guy on the ball a lot. But you have to be ready to adjust and to adapt on what's the striker doing. Yeah. And it's an interesting game, but you're trying to be ahead of what's coming next. And it's nice. It's nice. It's a nice challenge. And if you're not ready, you're going to be done.
Yeah, you're going to get punished.
Yeah. And it's a split second.
All right. I wanna sort of like pretend this is a goal over there.
Yeah.
All right. Shoot a 3-point for me quickly.
Yeah, very quick one.
And then I want to pretend this is the goal. That's the first one he's made, by the way. That's the first one he's made. They're all day there. When you think Virgil van Dijk, right, ingrained in my mind anyway, is you being almost left to a 1v1 defending, right? And it's you doing your sort of crabbing, world-class crabbing as well. You're watching the player, you're watching his body language, you're watching everything about it, and you're reading the situation. Yeah. The other night I watched it, and you drove him wide, you did your job, you slowed it down, you drove him wide, and it got to a point where he was so wide that it's almost like you were happy for him to get a shot off. You were happy for him to take a shot. Because you know you got Alisson in goal behind you, and it's such a tight angle, it was like, I'm not even going to really try and block it too much because I don't want to get in front of Ali. Yeah. Is that how it was?
Eventually, when you're one-on-one, you want to bring him, like, give him a side to go to. Yeah. But if he then eventually go to that side, you have to take him. But when you play against world-class strikers and you try to do that and still try and block it, it's not like I want to have him a shot, give him a shot. But because obviously you play against world-class strikers, they could get a shot. But you have to try and limit the power. You have to try and limit the accuracy with your body position, with strength, and delaying that moment as well. I think if you step in too quickly, you give them the opportunity to make a decision, and I think that's not something I really stand for. It's basically trusting your own defensive qualities.
Are you aware of strikers at the minute where they're almost looking for that gap between your legs? In the past, that's too much of a detail. I think that was left to look too much. I think it's got to the point now where strikers, especially playing against you, they know that you're going to be over them, on top of them. They're going to be looking for that gap instead.
It's the quality, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like,
that's the level now.
Yeah, because players know that if they move a certain way, your opponent will move a certain way as well. So if you can then use that advantage by giving a little nutmeg or whatever, play through that, just past them, then they would use it. And I think that could be the beauty of the highest level in the game, and the difference as well.
When you're watching football on the telly, there could be a Premier League game on. Yeah. Are you watching defenders and you're thinking, don't nibble? You're asking for it.
Every defender on ice will have a different style of defending. Yeah. In the box, you have to be careful. You can't be as rash and making silly tackles or give the ref or the VAR the opportunity to give a penalty. Yeah. And I think you have to definitely be aware of that.
Okay, I want to ask about your relationship with Alisson. In a second, I want to ask about this, all right? And I want to know the communication between you guys as well. First of all, though, this is something I don't think people quite understand outside of being in football, what it is, right? The corridor of uncertainty. Yeah. Okay? Can you explain to everybody what it is and how you try and defend the corridor of uncertainty?
What is the corridor of uncertainty?
Right, so this is the bit, okay? Yeah. Is if I'm Alisson, God, I'd love to be Alisson. If I was Alisson, right, and you're Virgil van Dijk, and they're about to whip the ball across, that area just there, is the corridor of uncertainty. What happens in this place? It's a
corridor of uncertainty.
There you go. There you go. How do you defend against that then?
Communication.
Yeah.
Massive. And if I'm here and the cross comes in from there, if Ali is shouting, then I have one job only, is trying to protect him. Yeah. Making sure that he doesn't get pressure from any direction. And obviously I can only do so much, but that's how it is. If he doesn't shout anything, then I have to make sure that I'm in the right body position in order to clear the ball. Yeah. It's a difficult one.
It is, it's horrible.
You only have to clear it and flip it or whatever, and it goes in your own goal. So that's a situation that you have to be very concentrated with.
Is this where experience plays a massive part in it?
Yeah, maybe, because when there is a 1v1 on the side, or when there is a moment of fullback coming through, there's cross coming in, so you have to try and body position yourself in the right way in order to clear the ball. That doesn't guarantee that you'll be able to clear it perfectly, because it can still go, left, right, own goal that no one's hoping for. Because the cross, you have no idea how the cross will be. Cross can also be like half high, can be like driven in. So it's difficult to adjust that anyway. But I think it's the communication, and your body position is very...
It's a good name for it though, isn't it?
It's a very good name.
It's a good name for it. Okay, let's talk about your relationship with Ali then. For me, best goalkeeper in the world. Has been for a few years now.
Agreed.
How nice is it to know that there's going to be times where opposition are going to get shots off? They are. but that guy behind you is going to pull out a worldie, or he's going to come and take a cross, or his distribution is going to be world class. How nice is that?
It's nice. I want him to not have anything to do.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's my personal feeling. But obviously, you know, we play on the highest level. We playing against good teams, good strikers, and there could be moments that he has to do his job. And I'm very, very happy that he's very good in this job as well. So yeah, you know, I think him, you know, me and the rest of our defenders, we live and dream of clean sheets, and that's what we aim for. But my relationship with him since the moment he walked in at the club has been special.
It just clicked, didn't it?
Yeah, but exactly. Like we've played so many games together. We won obviously everything together, and you know, he's an incredible goalkeeper, but an incredible human being as well.
Love that. And how much conversation actually goes on between you two? Because I don't think people understand the extent of what players talk in games. And is there much conversation? Do you have time to do it? And can you even hear each other?
Yeah. No, obviously he's communicating to me a lot. I do the same to him and obviously to the rest of the team, but that's something else. But you know, it's the small details. You know, body position, in possession, where he positioned himself. Obviously, if he needs me to do certain things, like corners, for example, how we defend and organization, and it's all small things, but they make a massive difference in order to hopefully get the win and clean sheet. And yeah, he's in my eyes, what you said as well, I think he's the best goalie in the world.
And playing out from the back, obviously being Dutch, it's something that you should be kind of, you know what I mean, you're born with that, you're bred with that, that's what you grow up on. Obviously Groningen, Celtic, Southampton, and then the step up to Liverpool. Has it become more of a demand on you? Is it something that you're fully aware of that you're kind of expected to do? And is there instances as well where you kind of go, no, Ali, mate, just kick it. We're under the cosh here.
100%. I think obviously that grew over the years. I wouldn't say that. Obviously, we have been in Holland, for example. We have definitely been playing, growing up and doing a lot of possession games and passing exercises and stuff. And actually, you know, building up wasn't really a strength of mine, if I'm absolutely honest. But it obviously I grew into that, and I think it wasn't really a strength of mine because I was never playing up until Celtic, playing for a club that
really did it, really
was always
it.
dominant and always win games, and it was always a bit a struggle. And but at Celtic, obviously, we had the ball 70% of the game, 70% the ball during the game, and there's different demands and different things that will happen. And then at Southampton, obviously, working with Koeman was a big step for me, and learning a lot and go into that. And obviously at Liverpool, you know, it speaks for himself.
So is that just practice then? So if you're, like say, if you're not comfortable,
I was comfortable with the ball, but it's about different, and I'm comfortable with the ball, but it's different demands what's been asked. And like obviously at Liverpool, you know, we play out, but we're not, like you said as well, we're not silly. We're not gonna play out for the sake of we have to play out. You know, when we're under pressure, we can also go direct and win the second ball or the third ball, and in that case as well. But we have the players to play, and when you play and when you find the right spaces, then it could be a massive advantage, of course.
And centre-back partnerships then, okay? It's never guaranteed that you're going to get the same one every Saturday. How much does that affect you, or how much work has to go into making sure that when you are on that pitch, it's still just seamless? You don't notice that it's a change?
You know, with the amount of games we've played, like you said, there will be changes. But at Liverpool, for example, we have basic principles that, you know, we all know. So what to do if there's a long ball from the goalie, how to be organising protection, what to do if the ball goes to our left back or to their right wing, or what to do, come across. But there are so many principles that we just have, that everyone knows and we have to follow. And then apart from that, aside of that, then obviously we have to maximise our qualities. And you know, for example, over the last couple of years, I've played with Matip, I played with Joe Gomez, Konate, now with Young Kwanzaa. You know, all of them have different qualities, and obviously also some weaknesses. Like everyone will have them, and you try to sort of blend them in together in order to be the perfect partnership.
So, say you just mentioned Kwanzaa there.
Yeah.
So, young lad coming up, doing really well, fantastic. is that your job then to sort of almost keep an eye on him in the game as well?
For sure.
And know that what his frailties might be and almost kind of preempt that and try and cover for it as well?
100%. But it doesn't only because he's young, but it's I could also say that for over the last couple of years about Matip or about Joe Gomez or Konate. You know, I'm always communicating, like I'm always shouting, and if you would ask them like how many times I shout their names during the game, or they will get sick of me, but it's only because we have one goal, is try not to concede, and the organisation has to be solid to get obviously the two centre halves and the number 6. That's the defensive structure that we have, and the rest can do whatever they want and score goals. In this case with Jarrell, I'm definitely in his ear all the time, and even outside of the pitch and before training, if we have a tactical session of a game and we play against players that he's never played against, you've seen him on TV, I will definitely speak about what they're good at, what they normally do, how they, what they do in the game, how they approach you maybe, what they try to do and get in your head, or things like that. Just small bits that they can help him, and anything in order to not lose the game.
Is he listening as well? When you speak to him, is he listening, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Of course he is.
Of course he is. He should be.
Big Virgil's talking.
He should be.
And it's fair to say that in training, every day you're training against some of the best sort of attackers, forward players in world football. It's as simple as that. Mo Salah, you've got Darwin Núñez. In the past, it might have been Mane, Firmino, them sort of players. Does that kind of make it, I was going to say easier, it's nothing makes it easier, but that sets the standard for what you know you're going to come up against most Saturdays in the Premier League?
Well, the thing is that people forget is that, these sessions that we actually train properly are in pre-season. And maybe a little bit still in the first part of the season where you don't play every 3 days. But in my case then, when the games come thick and fast, you just play a game, you have recovery, you have a tactical session, and the next day you play again. So you don't train against each other that much. You just play, learn, play, recover, learn, and go again. It's a cycle that you just keep going. And I like that cycle, to be absolutely honest, because playing games is the best thing to do.
That's your favourite,
yeah, definitely. It keeps you rhythm as well. Physically, it's tough. It's not easy, travelling, but I'm doing everything each and every day in order to be at my best. With my team around me, physio, chef, I won't say psychologists, but people that I speak to in order to be tunnel vision, go in and be the best I can.
Right, Virgil, that was world class. Should we go and pipe a few more 3-pointers, yeah?
Let's go then.
Come on then. Let's see what you got, mate.
You want to see, yeah?
Go on then. You haven't, I don't think you've hit one yet, but...
What? Oh my goodness.
Right, I've got 2 questions, okay?
All right.
This first one is my question, all right?
Yeah.
Forget about the producers and all that kind of stuff, right? When are we going to see Virgil van Dijk back slapping free kicks? Like, I'm talking Groningen, Celtic free kicks, yeah? When are we going to see that again?
I don't know, Listen, people forget that we have a very good free kicker in the team, with Trent.
He's not bad, yeah. He's not bad.
He's very good. Obviously, I think you remember, I think, one. But
1 or 2, mate, 1 or 2.
When something is good, don't change it that much. So I feel like, obviously, you have to practice that, you have to get into that, and I left it for now because Trent is amazing in that. I want him to be more consistent, but he's shown with the numbers and the goals he scored that he can be very, very good.
I think if he misses a couple in a game, I think you're well within your rights, yeah? Get him in a little headlock.
I'll put him on pressure.
Little man, stay there for a second, okay?
And then try and do it.
I want to see one of them wobbles.
And then I hit the wall.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Huh?
What's he going to say? He ain't going to say nothing, is he? And then finally, to finish off, obviously, Jurgen Klopp, farewell. What's the one moment about Jurgen Klopp that sticks out for you most?
Obviously, for me, meeting him personally for the first time sticks out for me. You have expectations. You see, obviously, him on TV. You see him watching the warm-up when I played with Southampton last time at Anfield. It was good, and the things he said, to me and wanted from me, eventually everything became reality as well, and I'll forever be grateful for that. And he's been a very important man and coach and in my career, but definitely in my life as well, and I'll forever hold it close to my heart.
World class, mate. How daunting is it when he watches you on the halfway line? It's horrible, isn't it? It's so bad. It's horrible. Right, come on, 3 points. Awful. Yes! He went! He went! That's the best ending ever. Oh, well done.
You got no
That was
chance.
brilliant. That was honestly belted, mate. Well done, Paul.
Thank you very much, man.
Don't forget you can watch Big Virg in the Premier League and Champions League next season, exclusively live on Prime Video.